Hello and a very warm welcome to the Sparkling Autos YouTube channel and to the return of my Quick Test Tuesday series. And for the return of the series after almost 8 months, I'll be testing Garage Therapy's Zero Citrus. So getting straight into it, this series is all about a quick use of a product as per the directions on the bottle, and you can see that this one starts off with some really useful safety instructions, followed by a range of dilutions depending on what you need, including applying via foam lance. Step 3, however, pre-rinsing the vehicle, I won't be carried out as I don't find that step beneficial, but if you do then crack on, I'm not here to tell people what to do. And the remaining steps are fairly standard for a pre-wash, so let's just get on with it. So no overpriced fancy equipment here. I'm still using this Spear & Jackson 5 litre pump sprayer that I picked up on Amazon about 2 years ago, and you can actually still get these for about £13. I'll leave a link below for anybody that's interested. But back to the dilutions, and you'll see in a moment, the mini I'll be testing on today has what I would describe as light to medium soiling. So I'm going to go with the 1 to 20 dilution. Or for me to work that out without a calculator, it'll technically be 1 to 19, which is 250ml of product in a 5 litre total solution with water. Just like so. And you may also notice the IK sprayer and the Garage Therapy Zero Decon shampoo here. This is also made up at 1 to 19, and you will see why in just a moment. But before that, I also want to prepare for the second part of the test, applying the product via foam lance as per the instructions. This means adding 100ml of product to 400ml of water, which will give a panel impact ratio or PIR of around 2%, although that's going to vary depending on your machine and foam lance combination. Now just to top up the lance to 500ml and get cracking with the tests. Hopefully you can see why I was leaning towards the medium soiling dilution, as there is a significant amount of visible dirt and it's essential to remove this before going in with a contact wash and dragging it across the panels. And this is also why I wanted to introduce the Garage Therapy Zero Decon shampoo into the test. Decon is one of my favourite products from any brand, not just from my GT shelf, and it's a firm favourite because it's as versatile as it is capable. You can use it everywhere from engine bays to carpets, from pre-washing to interior cleaning. It smells pleasant, it works really well, and rinses away easily without leaving any trace. Certainly in my experience anyway. And that's why I wonder where citrus will fit into the range. Well, putting the two side by side will maybe answer that question, so let's see. So this first test is simply going to be a 50-50 on the Mini's tailgate, the left side being Zero Citrus and the right side will be Zero Decon, both diluted at 1 to 19 or 5% if you prefer to look at it that way. After applying both sides as evenly as possible, I'm going to allow the products to dwell for around 5 minutes and then thoroughly rinse them away with the pressure washer. Don't worry though, I'm not going to make you sit through the full 5 minutes. Instead, we'll just take a quick look at both products dwelling and then skip forward to the rinse stage. Hopefully you'll see what I'm seeing and observe that both products appear very similar at this stage, despite one being applied via pump sprayer and the other a trigger bottle. But to see any real difference, we'll have to see how they rinse off. So let's just get on with it. Early impressions are certainly very good then. And now to remove the zero decon side and compare the two. I must say that pre-washing is one of my favourite processes, particularly when the products are this effective.
And I can't wait another day. You don't have to be worried.
So both rinsed away equally well, but let's just take a closer look and see how they performed.
All we have is red. Can I be true to your needs, to your sunken gaze? Give me a chance to make a difference in this lonely maze.
I think it's safe to say that both perform very well at this dilution, and I wouldn't feel the need to go any stronger here with either product. Which does beg the question, if this performs on the same level as Zero Decon as a pre-wash, and for me at least the primary purpose of a citrus wash is as a pre-wash, then where does this fit in for most users? Is it an alternative to Zero Decon? With Decon being such a versatile product, does it really need an alternative? Does it just come down to a preference? Let me know what you think in the comments, but for now, let's just move on to the foam application.
It took me a million years to find you, and I can't wait another day. You don't have to be worried.
Before applying the citrus via the lance, let's just remind ourselves of what condition the vehicle's in. As you can see, it's quite dusty and dirty, and it certainly has its fair share of bug splatter on the front. So I'd say this is a great test bed for this particular method, and just to remind you that this will be 100ml of product added to 400ml of water. But as it's being applied with the pressure washer, this means the PIR, or the actual volume of the product landing on the vehicle, will be roughly 2%, or less than half of what was used in the rear end. Is that going to be enough? Personally, I've never been a huge fan of applying citrus, APCs or TFRs through a foam lance, as all you're really doing is watering the product down further, only to gain some pics for social media and even more foam to clear up afterwards. But maybe this one will be different. Well, there's only one way to find out, so for the second time in this video, let's just get on with it. And nothing too scientific here, it's just a matter of applying a good, even, consistent layer over the whole car. Just be mindful that you don't get distracted by the neighbours and miss the bottom corner. Not that I would do that. And just to confirm that you really don't need much, as I've used just over 300ml of solution, so if you make up a full 1 litre, there's no reason you couldn't do 3 cars with it. So what's it like in terms of consistency? Well, really that's going to depend on your lance pressure washer combo and how you fine tune it with the dial, but I have this Auto Bright PA lance set up the way I like it, and it's given me just the right balance between wetness and thickness. But everyone has their own preference for that. The main thing is to ensure that there's enough coverage and that the product isn't drying out, because once it's dry, it's not benefiting you in any way. Not much to see on the already clean rear end, but this is just a reminder of just how good the product is as a pre-wash when applied directly, as in not through a lance. Well, there's not really much to be seen here. I could keep walking around the car, but that would be about as exciting as watching foam dry. So we'll skip forward another 5 minutes and get it rinsed off. First things first, how did it do against the bugs? Well, I have to be honest and say that I'm not exactly blown away by that. Don't get me wrong, it's done a half decent job of clearing the surface dirt, but perhaps being watered down through the foam lance has just hampered the product's ability to deal with the tiny wing crusaders that like to embed themselves into the front bumper. What I can say is that since making this video, anytime I've used this product as made up in the pump sprayer, it had no such issues dealing with this. Granted, that was at a 5% dilution, so 2.5 times stronger than this, yet ironically uses less product per wash. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Safe to say that based on my testing, using this through a sprayer versus via a foam lance is an absolute no-brainer for me. I'd rather use less product per wash for better results and have less mess to deal with afterwards. Don't get me wrong, for the rest of the car it still did a half decent job through the foam lance, but other than saving a few seconds applying it, I just really don't see the benefit. So I'll finish off the rinsing with what I find to be one of the most satisfying areas to put on a video, and then we will ask that all important question. Well, first things first, this clearly isn't a winner. As a pre-wash product at 5% or 1:19, it performed just as well as its renowned stablemate Zero Decon. But therein lies the problem. Decon shampoo for me outperforms this via lance, and I find it to be an even more versatile product. Don't get me wrong, the citrus is fantastic, and if you're in the market for a new citrus pre-wash, then I'd certainly suggest giving it a go. But for me, I'm always going to reach for Zero Decon before I reach for this, and for that reason, I wouldn't order this once it's finished. Does that mean it's not a winner then? Well, it doesn't win against Zero Decon, but it'll certainly hold its own against other citrus products, and I think I'll leave it at that. So if you've made it this far, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to comment, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll hopefully see you on the next one. Take care.